Hi, Life Science students. I want to go over the scientific method virtual lab. Let's go over the answers for the pre-lab. Okay, so you were to read the steps of the scientific method and then answer these questions. So number one says, when a scientist wants to solve a problem, what process do they use? And I do like to see, when possible, for you to answer your questions in a complete sentence. So as you can see, I wrote, scientists use a process called the scientific method. What part of the scientific method is a scientist doing if they make a prediction of what they think will happen? A scientist is forming a hypothesis. Number three, a scientist is making data tables and graphs of the data collected. What part of the scientific method are they using? When scientists use data tables and graphs of data collected, they are analyzing data. Okay, check your answers and see how close you have to my answers. Make changes if needed. And know I'm going to ask you questions like this on the test. So make sure you understand all the different parts of the scientific method, know how to apply them, what order they go in. Okay, so let's keep going. We're talking about, it goes to talk about the jacket experiment, and it's talking about the various lights and what they absorb and what they reflect. So let me show you. Let's go over these questions. Number one, what colors are found in white light? The colors found in white light are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. And that was a good explanation in the reading that you had. How is the problem what is the problem scientists are trying to solve in this experiment? They are trying to solve, how does color affect heat absorption? And I should have had a question mark on the end of that. What is the independent variable in this experiment? The independent variable is the different colored jackets. What is the dependent variable? The dependent variable is the heat put out by the 60-watt light bulb. So you guys remember, each chamber you put the various colored jackets, the heat didn't change. You decide to wear a red and blue shirt outside. So the question is, what colors will your shirt absorb? And I don't feel like this answered the reading. I don't feel like it answered this question very clearly. So I just want to pull up a website that I have on absorption and emission. So you can see that when white light is reflected in this pyramid, when white light is shined through this pyramid, that it reflects all the colors. Okay. Now, if you can read down a little bit further, black shirts absorb all visible wavelengths. Okay. Red shirts absorb all of the wavelengths except for red. And blue shirts absorb all the wavelengths except for blue. Okay, let's go back to our question. So what colors will your shirt absorb? Well, a red shirt is going to absorb all of the colors except for red. And a blue shirt is going to absorb all of the colors except for blue. What colors will your shirt reflect? Well, a red shirt absorbs all of the colors except for red, and then it's going to reflect red. And a blue shirt absorbs all of the colors except for blue and reflects blue. Based on what you learned from the introduction, circle the best hypothesis. And I have it highlighted here. Double check to see that that is what, well, it's your hypothesis. You could, whatever guess you made is fine. Okay, so this was the pre-lab. Let's go into the actual virtual lab and discuss that. I'm happy to hear that you all didn't have problems logging onto this website and got to do your various tests. The first test was on wool, and your table should look something like this. where you got the temperature of all 3 shirts in all the various colors, and then you took the average temperature, okay? The average, just as a reminder, the average is taken by adding these 3 numbers together, and then you divide it by 3 because that's the amount of numbers you have. That's how you find your average. So this was my wool experiment. Okay, so let's answer these questions. What color absorbed the most amount of heat? And I think everyone could say a resounding answer of black. What color absorbed the least amount of heat? White. Did the data support your hypothesis? So depending on your hypothesis, you can answer that yes or no. In this lab, you tested a wool shirt. There are 2 other materials you can test in this lab, denim or nylon. I ended up going with denim because I was just curious to look at the numbers. So once you have been assigned another material, fill in the information below about your prediction or hypothesis. Will your material heat up more or less than wool? And I predicted less. What color do you think will heat up fastest with your new material? And I thought it would be black. So here's my table 2. I circled denim because that is what I did. I took all of my temperatures and put it in the table and then found my average. Okay, and it's really important that you have this filled out because you needed this information to do your graph. So let me pull up my graph. I just scanned this, okay, and I'll just kind of go up and down so you can see the whole thing. Remember the main parts of a graph, and please take note of this because you will be expected to create a graph on your test from scratch. Okay, so know that you need a title, and it's hard to see, it didn't scan well, my title. My title says, The Effects of Heat on Colored Shirts. And please remember, when you have a title, you capitalize all words except the preposition, okay? So the first word, the, is capitalized. Of and on are not capitalized because they're prepositions. Okay, I actually made my graph a little bit bigger. So I used my ruler, and I want to say I was only able to go up to 26, or this only went up to 26, 28. So I used my ruler to take it up a little bit further because I wanted to count by 2s. Okay, so I have my x-axis, which are the colors, and I have my y-axis, which is the temperature in Celsius. I have my x-axis labeled as shirt color and my y-axis labeled as temperature in Celsius degrees. I also created my key because I'm comparing the wool and denim averages. So remember, you needed to look at this average temperature for each and make a comparison. So I looked at my black average for wool shirts and then my black average for denim shirts, and I made a plot. Okay, so you can see my wool is orange, my denim is purple, and I plotted out my average numbers there. And it's a really great visual. Okay, you can use whatever colors. So I will be looking to see how you guys completed this. And then you need to write a brief conclusion. So a brief conclusion is a short paragraph. Okay, it says, write in complete sentences and consider the following in your conclusion. What color or colors is best to wear on a hot day? What color or colors is bad to wear on a hot day? Does material matter? So I'm just going to read to you an example of something that I would be looking for. The best color to wear on a hot day is white. A white wool shirt is 5 degrees Celsius cooler than a black wool shirt. A white denim shirt is also 5 degrees cooler than a black denim shirt. It is not a good idea to wear a black wool or denim shirt on a hot day. Since a black shirt absorbs all of the colors, the temperature is far higher than all of the other colors. The type of material of the shirt matters because the thicker the material, the more heat is absorbed. Okay, guys, Take notes on the answers that we have reviewed, improve your answers if needed, and I will see you next time.